Welcome to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Today we're going to look at the Georgia Senate race. It is Monday night, December 5th, 2022, and I'm over in California. What I'm going to throw cards on Senator Warnock and Herschel Walker, and I just want to see how they're feeling next week at this time. Are they happy? Are they relieved? Are they excited? Are they sad? We'll find out. And maybe this will give us some insight as to who wins the election. Okay, so we're going to start off with Senator Warnock. Shuffle my cards a little bit here. How is Senator Raphael Warnock going to feel next week at this time? And that'll give time for, early voting and stuff like that to be counted. All right, I'm going to move my laptop down here so you can see the desktop. I'm going to flip the cards over so that you can see them. Okay, so King of Pentacles. There's some betrayal, planning for the future, and the Moon card. Okay, so what does that tell me about Raphael Warnock with the underlying card of the Chariot? Okay, well, he appears to be in a comfortable position. There's some and he's planning his next steps. This is the Three of Wands is waiting for your ship to come in. So on the one hand, so I think that he's sitting in a good spot. Underneath the energy is the Chariot, that things are progressing forward according to plan. A little bit of glare on that card. It's the overhead light. I think he's in good position. Again, the Three of Wands, he's planning his next steps. He's getting ready for that next journey. And it could also, it could mean that in a week's time we still don't know the answer, but I'm guessing that it's there. And maybe what's complicating it, the Moon, there's secrets, there's things, there's skullduggery going on in the background, and there's betrayal or disappointment that's going on with it. If he were to lose, I would say that he's really disappointed, and there could be some betrayal going on, or there's some secrets. I think he's going to come through with it. Maybe it's closer than he thought. And then again, underlying major arcana with the Chariot, basically saying, what's happening is happening, and that's the way it's going to be. Let me go mix those cards up in here so that we don't pull necessarily the same combos, unless Spirit wants us to pull the same combos. Okay, let me give these things a good shuffle here before I pull for the next one. It's an interesting throw. It'll be interesting to see what the betrayal feels like. What's going on with it? It's a contentious race, to be sure. And I think the hard part I would have with it is that one candidate seems to be really well qualified for the job. He's articulate. He's well spoken. That's the same word. Yeah, he's well spoken too. He's very articulate. He's intelligent, and the irony that's not lost on me is that the South is full of evangelicals, and you have an evangelical who's running who seems to show accountability and integrity, and the other evangelical leaders aren't supporting him. Instead, they're supporting the guy who lies, cheats, steals, is unfaithful, hypocritical, unaccountable. Herschel, you were great on the football field, but man, this is not something you should have been doing as a career. There's other things I'm sure you could do that are just fine, but being a senator is not among them. I don't know what to tell you. I'm obviously biased here. I would like to see Warnock win. I think he would be better for the collective, for the country, and for people in general. I don't see Herschel Walker being a very useful person for the country, for people in general, but that's not for me to decide. Okay, so what has Herschel Walker got going on? He's wondering if he's done enough work. He's got the Wheel of Fortune, the Hangman, and fatigue. Okay, and the Strength card. Actually, I like his cards a lot better than I like Raphael Warnock's. So he's done the work, and now he's sitting back to see what what the results are going to be. And again, the Hanged Man, it's a new outlook, or he's a willing sacrifice. There's two different ways to look at the Hanged Man card. And then you've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Nine of Wands. So he's weary. He's been working hard, and he's been beaten and battered. And you might even say that through the media. He's been beaten and battered. He's just been dragged through everything. All of his stuff is being exposed. And yet here he is in a runoff for a Senate race, and it could be a close race. And the Wheel of Fortune, this is kind of, the destiny of this. Now, is this the destiny of him winning or losing? Winning, or the destiny of him losing? Not sure. It might be in a week's time. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. In a week's time, we still don't know the results. That could be what this is all about. I thought a week would have been enough time. Maybe this is a lot closer. I mean, if it's a runaway election, it won't be. You shouldn't have to wait a week on that. But if they're delaying counting, that could explain it. Okay, speculating anyways. Strength card underneath. So he's showing a lot of strength, a lot of faith in that he's going to make it to that. He's done enough work to make it to the end. One thing that's kind of interesting is I'm noticing it. You've got this one pentacle that seems to have fallen off the bush. So I think what might end up happening here is that he's almost there, but not quite. Something's going to stop him right at the end. And this karmic wheel was more that this was not going to be his time to do that. But again, I'm biased, so we'll see what happens with that. Throw two more sets just to kind of see how that's going. So Warnock feels disappointed. It may be, and again, maybe he's expecting that he's going to cruise this this election. Maybe it's a lot closer. Maybe the votes don't get counted as quickly as he would like. Maybe he feels let down by the Democratic Party. I don't know. Let's find out how the Democrats are feeling versus the GOP. How will the Democrats be feeling after the results of the Georgia election are known? I mean, they managed to not give Trump his 10,000 votes that he was looking for. So, there is something to be said for that. So at least there's some integrity amongst the GOP members that were in the state. Some other states can't really say that, much as they try to fight it. How are the Dems going to feel about this? Put you down here. We'll find out. How are the Dems? Oh, Jesus. Somebody's sneaking off with the victory. There's your Chariot card again. Justice. There's that Strength card. The Democrats are acting like there's shenanigans up there. It could be that they think they've stolen this election. In other words, they've managed to sneak by with just enough on that. And underneath it, three major arcana. You got the Justice card with the government and fair play, the Chariot, the election's going to go forward, and the Strength card that they show in the trade. I'm going to think, normally I think of the Seven of Swords as being a lousy card, but I think they're going to feel like they snuck away with this one. They managed to tiptoe through this. You have the Hierophant underneath it, all sorts of government cards. If there are shenanigans going on with this election, I think they'll be identified and called out. God, I hope we don't have that. I really, really hope we don't have that. This country's been through enough. Just with the election denying and the audits in Arizona. Really, the last thing we need is for an election to truly be stolen. I mean, we're really close to losing our democracy as it is. Right now, we've rented basically 2 years with Biden's victory in 2020 to avoid autocracy. And now, autocracy is back on the menu. And that's a little concerning if you don't want to live in an autocratic society run by a bunch of oligarchs, then it will devolve into a kleptocracy. And then what do we have? We've got something akin to what they have in Russia right now. And I don't think we want that. Okay, so the Democrats either feel like the election was stolen or they managed to sneak one out in the middle of the night. Let's see how the GOP's feeling. This is not how I thought the raid was going to go. I would have expected this to be the exact opposite. Maybe I should have done the GOP first. A little user bias there. Sorry. Okay. How's the GOP feeling about the election results? How's the GOP feeling about these election results? Entertainment purposes only, in case I forgot to say that before. Not that I expect to be sued. Dude. Okay, here we go. Let's find out. Okay. Going forward with the monies. Oh, there's your tower moment. Deals in the sword of justice. And underneath it, they're planning their journeys. It sounds like they get something out of this. If you think of the Knight of Pentacles, it's making an offer. It can also be a false friendship or the false knight. It's the mercenary. And this actually kind of would represent Herschel Walker, right? Because he's not even a Georgia citizen. He makes his residence in Texas. And he was brought into Georgia at Donald Trump's behest to run for that because he was a football star in Georgia. So in some ways, he's the rental player. He's the false knight. He's the one that comes in. He's the mercenary, as it were. Underneath is the tower. It's kind of been a disaster. His whole campaign has been a disaster. Yet they have the Ace of Swords. They have this strong idea of what they want to do and agreements on how to do it. Maybe they just thought this was a great idea to bring him in. And if you think about it, he's given Warnock, who's an incumbent Senate, a real run for his money. He did lose by a few percentage points before the runoff, but now you've got the runoff coming on, and it's close. I think Warnock's ahead in the polls, but I think they've been successful. Considering how flawed a candidate this is, they're that close to succeeding. Voter suppression and voter suppression measurements come to mind. Maybe that what they've done to discourage certain groups from voting in the fights that they've fought to prevent certain groups from voting have been effective to keep this close. And this could be rolled out to other areas as a way to keep these states red longer. Planning his next move. Again, I'm horribly biased. I still don't think he's going to win. But these cards, if he wins, if the GOP is happy and Herschel Walker wins, that's just my bias, preventing me from not wanting to see it. But yeah, I'm still going to call this for Warnock. I'm just letting my intelligence get in the way of what Spirit has to say. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be putting up more videos in the near future. Thank you.